If you've ever been to Australia, you know they have a lot of birds that are like, what is that? Hey, by the way, there's a sound that you can hear that's actually a gecko. And I thought my whole life it was a bird, and it's a gecko. Anyway, maybe like Google that shit. So, what is the tool for today? Well, it's the one we've been talking about for a while. It's actually presumptive realities. That thing that I did about hearing a noise and going, ooh, what a beautiful bird, and realizing it was a gecko, that's presumptive. That's where I presume what reality is, and then I go on that assumption to try to create my life. How many areas are you doing that in? Hello, beautiful people. This is Dr. Dane. Welcome to this installment of the Tour of Consciousness from one of my favorite places in the world, Noosa, Australia. Can you hear the birds in the background? And by a strange turn of events, these Australian birds actually sound like birds. If you've ever been to Australia, you know they have a lot of birds that are like, what is that? Hey, by the way, there's a sound that you can hear that's actually a gecko. And I thought my whole life it was a bird. And it's a gecko. Anyway, maybe like Google that shit. So, what is the tool for today? Well, it's the one we've been talking about for a while. It's actually presumptive realities. That thing that I did about hearing a noise and going, ooh, what a beautiful bird, and realizing it was a gecko, that's presumptive. That's where I presume what reality is, and then I go on that assumption to try to create my life. How many areas are you doing that in? Like, I presume when somebody says this, it means this. Well, and how do we have these presumptive realities? Well, everybody does it. We've all learned to do it. We've all learned that we can navigate reality by presuming what it is and then acting accordingly. But there's a few difficulties with that because, number one, what if it's not what we presume it is? Which is like, oh, shit, like, oh, I thought when they did this, it meant this, but it actually doesn't. I thought when they did this, it meant they loved me. Oh, no, in actuality, it means something else. Or I thought when they did this, it meant they hated me. And then you have a conversation with them and they're like, no, that wasn't it at all. And so we have so many presumptive realities that we have learned growing up, and they color every area of our lives. And I know I've spoken about this before, but this one requires a deep dive. This one requires a reminder. In fact, they've been part of every class that we've been delivering, and they've been changing so much, which is why I'm here again with a different background to remind you of this. And how do you change it? Well, you just go, how many presumptive realities am I using to create this? Or how many presumptive realities am I using to destroy this possibility? Or how many presumptive realities am I using to limit the fun here I could be choosing? Everything that is, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. So as an example, how many presumptive realities are you using to create the money problem or the difficulty with money you are choosing? Everything that is times a godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. So how does that work if we use money as an example? Actually, any of the areas of our lives can be used as an example. But in this case with money, for example, darling, there's a presumptive reality. You presume how to create money and what it takes. And yet, here's the weird part. You see all kinds of other people who don't have that presumption, who have a different relationship to money. So to a certain extent, these presumptive realities color our relationship with our entire reality, with our entire world. And so any area in which it's not showing up the way you want it to, ask how many presumptive realities do I have creating this? And also, how many adopted presumptive realities do I have? Which is where you're around people, and we all know what it's like. You grow up in a particular family with particular points of view. And so you grow up thinking that's reality. Like one of my favorite stories that sort of illustrates this is there was this one lady who she was making a roast, and she cut off both ends of the roast to cook it. And when her friend said, "Why do you do that?" She's like, "I don't know. It's just the way my mother did it. And her roast was always great. So I assume it has something to do with that." So the lady contacts her mom and says, "Mom, why do you cut off the ends of the roast?" And she goes, "Oh, because all I ever had when you were growing up was this small pan. And so I had to cut off the ends to cook the roast." And so that's a presumptive reality that's adopted. Okay. And so this, if you can, this is one to be explored. And you can do it by how many presumptive realities do I have in this area, and then destroy and uncreate it, POC and POD. Or destroy and uncreate it, and right and wrong, good and bad, POD and, can you see the birds? Good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. There's a lot of them here, which is kind of awesome. So, how many presumptive realities do you have? Creating not liking your being and not liking who you're being. Whoa, that's a big one. Everything that is times a gazillion. Will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyond. How many presumptive realities do you have creating what you think you have to be in a certain situation? Like, take some situation where you get uncomfortable or that you may be avoiding right now. So how many presumptive realities do you have creating that? Because you're presuming it's going to be this, and then I'm going to say this, and then I'll be embarrassed, and then this, and whatever it is for you. Everything that is times a gazillion, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. How many presumptive realities do you have making you think that geckos are birds? Don't tell anybody I'm a doctor. Everything that is, right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. So, my beautiful friends, I hope this one is a contribution. My suggestion is, here's a little bit of home play for you, for those of you that like that sort of thing. Some of you hate it, and I know that feeling too. I only ever did, home play about something like this when I was like, I really wanted to change something, or I got the sense that it would actually work. So write down the top 5 areas of your life that are like your really important areas to you. Write down the top 3 things in each of those areas that are kind of sticky, or just not as great as you would like them to be, or not as great as you have a sense that they should be able to be. And then ask yourself, so we're whittling down here. This is where we're using our awareness to whittle down. And then go, okay, how many presumptive realities do I have creating this? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. And then go to the next one and the next one. So we got 3 things for each area. And then, as you do that, what you're going to start to notice is that there's all these things that you just thought were reality. And we all have this. It's what we think is reality that ends up becoming reality. And then the other part, though, is where we think it's reality, but it's actually not, and we act accordingly, and then we're really disappointed with the outcome because we're like, but I thought this was real. I thought this is what was going to happen. So how many times have you had this idea of the way something was going to turn out, or the way somebody was going to be with you, or the way you get together with them and create something, and it didn't show up that way at all? So look at that and just go, how many presumptive realities do I have creating this? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyond. You could write down a few of those, or just think of a few of those that are the upsets, and just go, how many presumptive realities do I have creating this? And it doesn't matter whether they're yours, whether you bought them from other people. It doesn't matter. It's just so friggin' helpful to be able to finally change this stuff. That's why I've made 2 videos on it so far. And it's been part of every class ever since it came out. So there you go. Okay, my beautiful friends from lovely New South Australia, where I've just got back from a sunset jet ski. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I still have my, oh well, at least this way, when I run into walls and doors, I will probably be safer. I should probably wear a helmet. Anyway, I digress. Thank you for joining me. And what if you, truly being you, beyond presumptive realities, are the gift, the change, and the possibility this world requires? You are my beautiful friends. I thank you for being. I look forward to meeting you in person and giving you a hug someday. Oh, and also, because I always forget to ask, if this video is a contribution, please like, please subscribe, please share, because I don't monetize my videos, and that's the only way other people are going to see them, because you may notice that Mr. Algorithm Guy likes to promote the videos Mr. Algorithm Guy is going to make money on. So there you go. Look a brother up. Not presumptively, just because you can. See you later, beautiful people. Bye-bye.